everyone, so today I'm sharing some Dollar Tree DIY home decor crafts that look store-bought. And this is really exciting because this is part of a mystery box challenge. So the items I'm using to create these crafts were sent to me by another YouTuber. They're super random, and this is put together by Courtney from Creative on the Cheap. My box was sent to me by Jennifer, a little bit of Common Crazy, and I sent mine to Val, Auntie Cuckoo, and there's gonna be a playlist with everyone who was included. Make sure to check them out. This month's twist is that the 2 challenge items, we cannot use any type of glue, tape, any adhesive. So this should be really fun. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so here are the contents of the mystery box, and some of these items are from Dollar Tree Plus, but I do give you alternatives on what to use if you cannot find the Dollar Tree Plus items. So these are just the regular items that I'm supposed to use as many as possible to craft with, and then I have 2 challenge items. And I'm not going to show you those challenge items just yet. I want to keep the fun going, so make sure you watch out for these 2 items. For the first craft, I'm starting with this Dollar Tree lavender wreath. Now, if you cannot find this, I've made a ton of lavender wreaths on my channel using Dollar Tree lavender and using 97-cent lavender, so you can make this from scratch. And I also found this little luggage tag at Dollar Tree. Now, the mystery item here is that little wood beaded wreath, so I just wanted to play with the fact that this was black already, and I'm just going to make this bee theme. These are from Dollar Tree as well. These are push pins, and in the garden section, they have ones that are meant to for decor, but these are the ones that I had. So I'm gonna push them into the leaf. Now for these regular mystery items, I can use glue, just not for the 2 challenge items. I'm gonna use this Dollar Tree burlap to make a pink little bow just to cover that up, and boom. Here's another mystery item, and this is from Dollar Tree, from Crafter Square. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this up and remove that. I'm gonna use this as the base for something. Now, I am gonna try and use the Dollar Tree epoxy. I've always passed by it and have never tried it. And I'm not really sure how I feel about it because one side was dried up. It did give a nice hold, and it is meant to hold metal. So I'm going to attach one of the Dollar Tree napkin holder things, and I'm just doing this with a popsicle stick. The smell is extremely strong, and I'm trying to get this as centered as possible. And bonus, I am using another mystery item here, so I'm gonna go ahead and give myself some more points for using 2 mystery box items in one craft. I tend to do that a lot in this video. So this is what this looks like. I think this is really useful, and bam. Now for this mystery item, I am going to go ahead and spruce it up. If you cannot find this because this is a Dollar Tree Plus item, Crafter Square in Dollar Tree does have smaller ones. Now this is an awesome way to figure out the inside without having to cut your material all wonky. So I like having tons of trays around, but it really sucks when you just need like a quick tray to stage something and it just doesn't go with your decor. So I'm going to use either of these options from Dollar Tree. I really love that they have so many stickers and fabric. I bought all of these and I really love the neutral one. So I'm going to unfold it and iron it out. But before I do that, I'm gonna cut it down just a little bit larger than that template that I cut out. Whatever you choose to use, make sure that you are lining up the pattern so that it is nice and straight. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and iron out all of those wrinkles. My paper is not underneath, by the way, because then it would start to wrinkle up. Then I'm placing this on top and I'm going to start folding it in. When I get to the corners, I'm going to cut notches so that it sits nice and flat, and then I'm going to iron that on top. Secure it with some tape, add it, and now you can have trays for any occasion just to stage stuff. Look how cute this looks. You can find this mystery item in the Crafter Square section of Dollar Tree, and I am using a piece of wood. Dollar Tree has tons of wood, which by the way, I am linking my little mini saw in the description because I know I will get questions. But here's the thing. This wood that I'm using, they're called yard stakes. So they come in like a pack of 5 and they're super duper cheap. For projects like this is so much cheaper than buying wood dowels or stakes from Dollar Tree. And look how big they are. So I cut this down and I cut a smaller piece down and added it to the top because I am making like a little lamp. Once this is completely dry, I'm gonna go ahead and attach it to that other mystery item. And in the hardware section of Dollar Tree, they have these little tiny kits for picture hanging, and I like to use this eye hook right here. And this is a bonus craft because I did use another mystery item, which you'll see in just a sec. For the next craft, I am going to be using challenge item number 1, and that is Dollar Tree Metal Flakes. Now, if you know, you're supposed to use this with some sort of adhesive to make it stick, and I am not allowed to do that because this is a challenge. So instead of using tape for nice crisp lines, I did use this kind of like scrunchy type thing. I don't recommend, by the way. And then I'm using this color because I really like gold and this turquoise color. I'm making my way all the way around, but I'm doing really thick coats, and you'll see why in just a sec. So I'm making sure this is completely saturated so that I can add my gold flakes without having to add adhesive. So essentially, I'm using the paint as the adhesive and trying not to get more paint on top of it. I think this looks really cute because it kind of looks like a globe, a map. So to give this a little bit more detail, I did go ahead and add some gold around the rim with a regular paint pen. And initially I wanted to make this into a candle, but I did need to use some adhesive for that. So here we go. I'm just adding the gold with my Deco Color gold paint pen, and I think this looks pretty cute. Challenge item number 2. This isn't the last craft, by the way, but remember, we cannot use any type of adhesive. So I got sent spoons, and at first I thought this was going to be really easy because they're cheap Dollar Tree spoons. But oh man, thank goodness for editing, because this right here, where I'm trying to make a hole in these spoons, took like half an hour per spoon. Look how quickly editing makes things look. But no, this took like half an hour per spoon. So here I am, very proud of myself because I made that hole. None of them are even, and I had to go back to Dollar Tree and get 2 more spoons, and I didn't realize that there were different sizes. So that's what we're going with. We are going with 2 different sizes, and I am using the little picture hanging kit and using the screws from that. And I'm going to spray paint this a matte black. So on top of the fact that I am using a challenge item, I am also pairing this with another mystery box item, so woo! Another bonus round over here. This is really thin, so I did go to Dollar Tree and thankfully I found a few more, so I am stacking 3 of them. If you're doing this at home, do not get the Dollar Tree stuff, just grab a piece of wood. I'm gonna make my markings to try and get them as even as possible, which is a little difficult because the holes are not all in the same spot. But I'm gonna mark them and then use my little nails to put this into place. We can't use any type of glue, and for this type of craft, that's okay. But because the boards aren't glued together, they did shift as I was doing this. So I drilled pilot holes to make it a little bit easier, and again, the bottom wood did shift because they're not glued together. So that's a little unfortunate, but again, If anyone does want to recreate this at home, I just recommend getting one solid piece of wood. Not only would it be cheaper, but you wouldn't have that headache, and boom. I saved my favorite craft for last, of course, and this is a mystery box item. So if you are following at home, instead of using this $3 Dollar Tree item, use the $1.25 wood rings. And I will show them later on in the video because I do use that as well with this craft. So I'm taking off all of the canvas, and then I'm going to use some Dollar Tree twine, and I'm gonna wrap this around and around and around, which is why I didn't remove the staples. I am gonna spare you the watch, and I'm gonna fast forward this and skip over. If you wanna skip this, because it does take an eternity to do, just paint it a solid color, but I really wanted to work with the wood tones. So make your way all the way around until it is completely covered. And remember, you are also doing this for 2 other rings. So here it is. I'm cutting that down, making sure it's nice and neat. And these are the rings that I'm talking about. This is in the Crafter Square section. This is $1.25, and you only really need 2. I'm gonna cover this one with twine as well. But as you can see, since there's no staples, if you did want to paint it a solid color, that would cut this project down so much. I did 2 of these. So in total, I have 1 big one and 2 of the thin ones. Now, this step is for later on. I'm gonna take the small one, put it on top of the big one, and just trace so that I can align it nicely and put this to the side. Or you can hot glue it in place, whatever you want. With this Dollar Tree wood round, this is in the Crafter Square section, I'm gonna go ahead and take one of the smaller ones after I remove my twine, and I'm gonna hot glue that in place. This is going to be my base. So make sure it's nice and straight. Hot glue it in place, and then we move on to the fun stuff. In the kitchen section, Dollar Tree has these bamboo skewers. They're a little thin, so I prefer the large ones. Why? Because you can cut them down and get like 3 uses out of this, depending on how tall you want your planter to be. I could have gotten 3, I think I did 2 off of one, so I only used 3 packs of this. I used a skewer that I had already cut down to measure, and then I cut this down with my saw. It doesn't have to be perfect, that's what the top is going to be for, but once you have it cut down, start hot gluing one across from the other, kind of like if you're putting together a clock. So here is everything cut down. I'm removing the big one and setting it to the side, and I'm just gonna start hot gluing and watching some Netflix. Look how pretty this looks. Now what I'm gonna do is that thing that I set aside, the small ring and the big ring, I'm gonna hot glue it into place. And this is what's gonna help all of those skewers actually look straight. So once this is hot glued, I'm going to take the piece that I have done and flip it upside down. And then with my hot glue gun, I'm gonna start straightening out the pieces and gluing them. For the legs, you can use Dollar Tree wood. Dollar Tree now in the Crafter Square section has these really cool dowels, but it is way cheaper to go to Walmart and get these dowels for $1.88. So much cheaper. So I have this. I am basically, you don't have to do this part because you can have straight legs, but I was trying to experiment. So I made a line straight through and then I cut them at 10-degree angles. And I'm not really sure if it turned out right, but on another Dollar Tree
wood round, which you can do this directly on the one that's on top. You don't have to use an extra one. I added my legs and then I hot glued it to the top. But again, because it already has one, you can just go ahead and hot glue the legs on there directly. I just wanted to be extra. So here I am, and boom! I am so in love with how this one turned out. So that's it for me. I really hope that you enjoyed this craft. Let me know in the comments which one is your favorite. Be sure to check out the playlist so you see everyone else's mystery box. And as usual, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you so much, and I'll see you on the next one.